Right now, you're listening to the Scary Vibes podcast. My name is Michael, aka Mr. Scary Vibes.
And my name is Abe, aka Bigg Paranormal. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Season 2, episode 24. And we got a special guest. We got Chesska, a longtime friend of mine, on the pod. Welcome in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I definitely want to, apologize to any of our watchers or listeners. It's been a long time since we put out an episode. It's probably been over a week. I actually just got back from vacation. I went on this road trip with my daughter. We drove over 2,000 miles. I actually just got home today. We did a live. And now we're doing the podcast with Chesska, and I'm so excited. So, Chesska, for all our watchers and listeners that don't have any idea who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where are you from? What is your favorite scary movie?
Okay. So where I'm from is California. Currently where I reside, and born and bred. And
Nice.
what is my favorite scary movie? That is truly hard because I have too many. So that's it's really hard for me to just choose one. I definitely have I'll say I have favorite horror franchises. I think that's easier to say, like, because I can't.
Okay.
So let's pretend that I call you at like 2:00 in the morning, and I'm like, Chesska, what's your favorite scary movie? What is gonna be your answer?
Oh my god, but there's just too many. Like, that's so hard to. You know what? I have to go. You know what? I'm gonna go with A Wrong Turn. Fuck it. I like the Wrong Turn movie. Like, and like as a franchise, I do love the whole. But the first movie is, I think that's such a good example of like the early 2000s horror that I truly just all around love. That late 90s, early 2000s is just kind of, and that's where so many, I do have plenty of favorite movies from there, but yeah, we'll have to go with Wrong Turn because I do think that was one of the earlier ones that I saw that was more on the more on the gorier side, that I was like, I'm obsessed with this. I need more of this.
You know what? That's got to be the first time that I've actually heard somebody say Wrong Turn is their favorite scary movie. So that's actually a very unique, very, very unique answer. So my question is, you had mentioned the gore. Is that what really, drew you to it? Is that what you really like about that movie?
It's there's that. I love the inbred hillbillies, and their genetic deformations. There we go. God, crazy.
Yeah.
But like, what my favorite part is honestly the final girl. That is one of the horror movies where I can remember this character always being so strong. Like, and she started off strong. It wasn't someone that kind of had to, like, she starts off very, like, abrasive and just kind of very much herself. And you can feel that from her, and just kind of, I don't know, that I think that's truly why I love it. Is, yes, there's the gore, there's the hillbillies, and the laughing of Three Finger is one of my favorites because it makes me laugh every time he's laughing, chasing them. But it's just, I fell in love with that type of final girl, of someone just being so, of just like this girl that seems very confident and sure of herself, and like she's onto things before everyone else is. And she's kind of like paying attention, and just how I said, she's just a very strong, and then she makes it out. So it's just, that is one of my favorites. Just, there's so much actually to love in that
I
movie.
definitely, I
Okay.
definitely agree with you. She was super badass in that movie. I
Yeah.
remember her just kind of just running the entire time. I actually
Yeah.
have a pretty funny story. So that movie, I never heard of it. I was like maybe like 10, 12 years old. I ran into this bootleg guy. He was selling bootleg movies at the laundromat. I remember buying 5 movies from him, and they were all bangers. I mean, the first one was from my niece. It was Finding Nemo. The next
Okay.
one,
Love
the next
Finding
one
Nemo.
was the Ringer with Johnny Knoxville. I love that movie so
Oh
much.
yeah.
And then there was The Last House on the Left, and there was
Okay.
Wrong
Ooh,
Turn.
Oh wow, those are really good bootlegs from the
yeah,
laundromat.
those are really good ones.
It, I
Absolutely, I
remember
agree.
I remember going home. I didn't hear of any of them. I got Finding Nemo for my niece, and The Ringer was just like a comedy that the guy suggested, and then the 2 horror movies, and they were such bangers. And Wrong Turn,
Solid, yeah. Every single one of those, The Ringer, Johnny Knoxville.
Hmm.
the thing that I remember, yeah, like you said, the thing about Wrong Turn is you could actually put yourself in that girl's position. You could actually put yourself in this like idea of like getting lost in the middle of nowhere, and like there's this scary family that's just living out in the woods
Little
that's
family.
cannibals and ready to eat you,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
it's pretty scary stuff.
And they're just laughing at you. Because like I said, like I love Three Finger, like him just laughing throughout the whole time, like as
Hmm.
he's doing these chases. And yeah, scary as shit. I didn't want to be in that position.
So I
Oh
know
man.
you said that movie is like one of your favorite movies. How did your love for horror movies start? Like, what was like your first time, watching a scary movie? Do you remember like how you got addicted?
Um, yeah, so I grew up in a household that was like pretty religious. So I actually wasn't able to watch a lot of the things that I loved in the home, or I snuck watch them. But so my older godbrothers, they already loved horror. They were into that spooky, dark vibe, everything like that. And also into gaming, Mortal Kombat, lots of that stuff that I also like loved from like learn to love being around
Hmm.
them. And but I can recall, I don't remember which one it was first. It could have either been the Blair Witch Project that they had on, or what I recall is Chucky, The Bride of Chucky. Those are the 2 movies that I can remember seeing at their house that I wouldn't have been allowed to watch at home. And I I just like remember that I was just all into the spookiness of the Blair Witch Project. And I think that's probably actually when I first didn't know it then, but that is when I first developed a love for found footage horror, because I do
Okay.
love that type of horror. Not many people do, and it's understandable, but I think that there's quite a few good ones. And then I think the one that actually traumatized me though was Chucky. It is the first movie, so it's when he's in the back seat and then he
Hmm.
goes and he starts like stabbing.
That's the yeah. I do believe that that's the first
Um,
movie when he's attacking Detective Mike. Like he's like stabbing him like through trying to get to him through the seat, and you can
yes,
actually
yes,
see like the
yes.
knife blade, and then he
Yeah,
goes like underneath the seat. Yeah, he
yes,
goes
yes,
underneath the
the
seat, and
stabbing
oh
scene.
yeah, yeah, that's definitely the
And
scariest one.
that is that, and there you go. That is
So,
when I remember genuinely getting scared by a movie. 2, I hate dolls. 3,
Mm.
it developed something where when I would get in the car, I would always check
Mhm.
underneath the seat or behind to make sure fucking Chucky wasn't behind there or anything. So,
I feel like a lot of the movies with Chucky, like he was always popping out of the back seat. He was always taking his victims by surprise because of like his size. I
Yeah.
remember, like, yeah, like you said in the first Child's Play when he's just like stabbing through the seat randomly, and like the
Yes.
cop is like jumping up and the knife is
Yes.
coming through the scene. And you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
So yeah, that's definitely a scary moment. So my mom, she made me watch scary movies. She would be like, "Oh, you think that scary movies scary? Well, try watching this and then this and then this." So I'm actually curious because you said that you kind of had to go behind your mom's back to watch these movies. I'm curious, Big, do you ever have any movies that you weren't supposed to watch that you watched?
Honestly, man, my brother was a huge horror fan, right? From a very, very young age. There was not actually anything that I wasn't really supposed to watch as far as horror. But if you remember from the past, like I have actually said that my love for horror movies didn't come until much later in life. I was introduced to horror because my brother used to torment me with these different movies, specifically with zombie movies, because he knew how
Yeah.
scared I was, and as a result of that, it grew into a phobia for me. And so
Valid.
he'd always go to the video store back when we had video stores, and he would rent like the craziest zombie movies, and he would like make me watch them with him. Half the time I'd be watching the movie with like a blanket over my head. But as a result, I would have these horrible nightmares because of it. Like I would have dreams that hordes of zombies would be walking out of like this forest, and
Oh.
I just would just watch all these zombies walking to come and eat me and my family and stuff. So yeah, there was never really any like banning or anything like that. I mean, yeah, not at least not on my end, bro. But I mean, you guys, it's
Yeah, I
funny
really had
because
no.
go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna
No, I
say,
was
I
just
just
gonna
think it's funny how
say,
whenever I hear of like people say that their parents kind of guided them into horror and stuff like that, I'm
Mhm.
like, damn, man, how different things could have been. If my mom was like that type of person to be like, you know what, you think this is scary, then watch this. But it's funny because I know one of the scariest movies that my mom said she actually had to like get up and walk out of was The Exorcist. So she actually went to go see The Exorcist with her cousins in the movie theater, and they didn't make it even like halfway through. They got up and they walked out.
Your mom?
Yeah.
yeah, he said his mom, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like one of those movies as a father now that I don't know if I would ever let my daughter watch. She would have to probably go behind my back to watch The Exorcist. I don't know if I would allow that.
The thing for me with The Exorcist is like the behind the scenes stuff that like fucks me up of like that's where I'm like that one actually is a hard watch, like the bed breaking, like knowing what she went through, like and that is her legitimate in pain, like that's like that's hard to deal with, like those type of things. It does make it a little icky.
I think Mike, you heard about that, right? About Reagan, the girl that played Reagan, that like the apparatus that they had her strapped to when she was like being slammed against the bed repeatedly, that she had sustained some horrific injuries to her back as a result of that, man. I mean,
So she was
that is
actually screaming in pain. Like that's legitimately what that was. And
mm-hmm.
so that's my reasons for why I'm like, yeah, I have mixed feelings about that movie.
I know a lot of stuff happened to like the castmates and stuff like that where there was like unexplainable like
Yeah,
injuries and stuff
that
like
one
that. So
was
I
like
know
one of those cursed films ones type of thing too. They had a lot of things going on with that production.
so the fact that we're on, the topic of, cursed, I know kind of like in our like pre-interview or like when we were kind of talking throughout the week, you had said that there was an experience that happened to you that was kind of like on the paranormal side.
Oh, that one was like, okay, so that one was just like, I've had paranormal experiences throughout my life, and that does add into why just as there's horror, but just all around an interest into spooky, dark, macabre, just like more of the taboo things that aren't always looked at. Some people are more scared or whatever, but I've grown up with just like a lot of different paranormal experiences at different points in life, but this one actually ties back into one of those ones. So when I was a child, things would often go missing. And yes, you can say that that was because I was a child and I misplaced things, or I would put something, and there could be times where that was true, but there's one specific time that I remember this was back when we were living in in Pomona, and I like to draw and color. And so I had this huge container. It was like an old Campbell's metal tin box that just like held all of my crayons, just like a bunch of crayons just in there. And and then it would be under like I would put my blank paper underneath there, and it would be just put away just so I can grab it on a shelf. So it's like everything had its place. The paper was there, crayons were on top, shelf, go to and grab. Should be easy thing. And since I am slightly OCD, I do put things back. I do put things back where they go. I don't tend to break those habits. And there was this time that I went to go draw, and I think I must have been around 7, maybe somewhere around this age. And I went to go look for my crayons because I wanted to draw. So I went to my shelf for my crayons and my paperwork. My huge, undespicable box of crayons was not there. And so I was like, okay. And so I went around looking, trying to find things. Of course, I did ask my mom, and she didn't know where my crayons were. And so I was about to just call it quits and move on and do something else because I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know what else to do. And I went out into the living room, and right dead center in the living room is my box, my metal tin of crayons, like dead center. Wow. It's not anywhere else. It is in the middle of the fucking room. And my mom and I were the only ones there. So, and that was kind of like, I had no explanation. Subconsciously, I was like, okay, there's nothing I can do about this. I'm going to move on. And it was kind of like, once I made that acceptance, it's like, then it appeared. So, and that would often just play out in different aspects with things that would go missing. That's like, there's no reason for this to be missing. And then, so at some point, I just started to say, when you're done with it, can you please put it back? And just like what I was like, that's fine. I was like, you can, but when you're done with it, can you please put it back? And like, I would often just forget about it and go on with my life. And then at some point I come back and that item is exactly where it was when it had went missing in the first place. But it's there.
Wait. So you're saying that items would kind of go up missing, and then you would just kind of say out loud to whatever is there with you, we're assuming like a spirit or something, hey, just put it back when you're done, and then it would magically kind of be back there the next day or like a couple hours later?
Not the next day. It would just show up, just like, it's kind of like I would put it out of my mind, because the more I would hyper focus on and fixate on the fact that I don't have it, one, it would bother me, and two, it's just not showing up. And I gained this understanding of just being like, put it back, maybe when you're done, maybe that'd be cool. please and thank you. And then from that point on, that would happen.
So Big is empath, and he's like our paranormal expert.
Mhm.
What do you think about all that?
What do I think about that? Okay, so first, I think we need to ask the question: do you think that there was somebody who could have borrowed it without you knowing, or taken it without you knowing, or are
Absolutely
you
not.
like me? Are you like me? I'm like, yo, don't touch my movies. You know, like that. That's I covet
Yeah.
these. I love my movies. Right. Okay.
I did not lend it out to anyone. I don't
Mhm.
again, it goes back to the OCD.
Mhm.
And yeah, I take very good care of my items.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, and also no one would have done that. Like, they're,
It's like they
yeah,
know
there's
better.
no one that would have done those things.
So,
And to, like, with the newer, with the disc, the underworld thing,
mhm.
yeah, they wouldn't have done that either. No one would have done
Okay. So, I mean, if that's the case, man, then she literally could just have been dealing with a mischievous ghost. A lot of times people talk about poltergeists, right? Like poltergeists are the ones that like are kind of tricksters, and they'll do things in order to kind of make you do a double take, and they'll move things in order to kind of just mess with you. And I kind of feel like that is the case, you know with this situation, where it's like it took one of her favorite movies, specifically when they knew that she wanted to watch this movie, right? And then
Yeah.
just kept it away for a long time, and inconvenienced you so much that you had to even go and purchase a whole new one. And then they were like, all right, now we're gonna put this right back in the sleeve, right where it was at again, just to mess with her. And
Yep.
that, bro, that would drive me nuts. I would be so mad. Honestly,
So I
that
kind
would.
of want to.
Oh my god.
So I want to kind of have fun with both you guys and myself.
Mm-hmm.
So you had mentioned that you had this sleepover and you were gonna have snacks and movies. I want to know both of you guys, and then I'll give you my answer. What would be
Mm.
the perfect like? Give me like two movies and like what snacks are we gonna have at the perfect sleepover?
Oh, okay, who's going first?
I could go. I'll go first. I'll go first.
Okay.
So I would choose Scream, the original one, and then I would choose. I'll copy
Solid.
Chess. I'll copy Chesska. I'll choose Wrong Turn, and for
Mm.
my snacks, we're gonna have some hot Cheetos and some slushies. That's my pick.
Ooh.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool.
What about you,
So,
Big?
oh man, I mean, okay. So when I'm watching a movie, I usually like to like have a pizza, man. So like, can that be a snack, or does it have to be like an actual snack?
I'm allowing a pizza. What kind of pizza?
Oh,
I'll
dang,
allow it.
dude. I mean, here in Chicago, Mama Luna's was definitely that go-to pizza, man. So that tavern style, thin crust, sausage, pepperoni, it's got to keep it classic, right? And then for like an actual snack, bro, it's gonna be a mix, right? It's gonna be popcorn, but I like to put goobers or bunch of crunch in the popcorn, so it's a little bit of sweet and a little bit of salty at the same time. But as far as the movies that I would choose, I'm gonna stay away from the zombie movies because my brother, right? But
So you're still
definitely,
stars.
surprisingly, I do have a favorite zombie movie, definitely. But I am a creature feature guy, so I would
Huh?
probably end up picking a werewolf movie, right? Because I love werewolf movies. So more than likely, it would probably end up being like an American Werewolf in London, but then I would switch it up to like maybe something that really does scare me, like a possession movie, So probably drag me to hell.
Oh, hey! Loving this lineup. We got
I'm
solid
telling
movies already.
you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm
So
liking your sleepover more than my sleepover, that's for sure.
Oh, I thought this was a combined one. I thought this was
It,
just like
I
we're
mean,
bringing our own movies, bringing our own snacks, and then it's one place. That's what I thought. That's why I was like, this
ooh,
sleepover sounds awesome.
it does sound awesome,
Chesska,
honestly.
I like the way you think. What would you add to this pretend sleepover?
Okay, so all right, we already have Wrong Turn, and it's like I gotta go with House of Wax.
Excuse me.
That's just like it's got to be part of this lineup. It has to be.
Okay. Okay. I'm down with that.
And yeah, all right. So, and let's see. Fuck. What is the other one? Which way are we gonna go here? Thinking about this. Yeah. There's so many good movies to choose from.
I'm saying. Let's see.
You know what? Fuck it. We also have to like there's House of Wax and we gotta go with Saw. We gotta go with the Angel Trap. We gotta see the
Ooh.
Angel Trap happen.
Okay.
Within
Okay.
this lineup of movies. Like this sounds like a perfect set lineup of movies for that.
Yeah. Absolutely. We got a little bit of everything mixed in there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh. And then okay, my that's right, my snacks. So there we go. So snacks, you already got the popcorn, so don't need that. I'm gonna go with sour belts, raspberry blue sour belts.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Love anything blue, and love sour candy, so that's perfect. And what else? Let's see. Damn, we already got everything else. I don't really shoot. I guess we have to have some sort of chocolate. It's wrong to not have chocolate, right? You can't have a fucking horror movie sleepover or you can't go without chocolate. So I guess just like some Hershey's, that's fine. Like the little snack size ones.
Okay.
It's like those terrible ones, and you could break off a little piece or whatever. It's just like it's a little treat.
Okay. Okay. Cool. You know what?
So
It
there we go.
actually might be a really good option. It might be a good option to actually like stop at a store, and if it's definitely like around Halloween time, you just pick up that like multi-pack of the Halloween candy that has just a bunch of the snack side, the little fun size candy bars in there, just
Yeah,
mixed up. Bro, you
yeah.
cannot
There you
go
go. That
wrong.
works too. That would be perfect. Yeah.
Cannot go wrong with that.
So Cheska, so I've known you for a long time. You've actually helped me with when I did a Scary Vibes t-shirt drop. I've always
Yay.
loved I've always loved your style, and you're a big cosplayer. Like on your Instagram, I see you've done Chucky, Ghostface, Catwoman. I'm kind of curious, like how you got into cosplay, and then I'm also interested in, is there like something that you would love to do from like horror that you haven't done yet? Like a dream cosplay.
Okay. So you say cosplay. Okay. All in all, like I think my love for cosplay comes from the fact that I am a musical theater nerd. I'm a theater nerd. I grew up a theater geek, and I actually, from the time of, I've always loved to sing and dance, and I loved watching musicals and older musicals as well. This includes black and white musicals, so
Oh, wow.
old school.
Okay.
And I loved it. I loved there's so much that I loved, and I think it was around 8 or 9 years old. I had done a few plays in the church at the time, but that's when I discovered that I liked acting and that type of thing mixed in with singing. And I was at school, and within our cubby holder, the you know, those little cubby things that they had, there was flyers in there one day, and one of the flyers was an audition for Annie, and it was from this theater group, Carousel Kids, and they would go ahead and what's the word I'm looking for? Like, yeah, they would. So that's about the time of I first had interest, because I came home with the flyer and I was really excited, and I showed my mom and I told her that I wanted to audition, and I didn't know what that would entail, but she did take me. And when we were there, they had us learn a dance, and we were also to sing a song. I do not remember I learned, and I don't remember the song I sang, but I got a part, and I got in the musical. And from that point on, it was just I had kept doing musical theater up until I was 15.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And it, so when you'd put on these plays, so these plays were only run for about 2.5 weeks, I would think. 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks at most in July.
Okay.
But for rehearsals and for the preparation leading up to these simple 2 weeks was about 8 months of prep. About 7, 8, or I think about 8 or 9 months of prep. Like, it was a long time. So it was a lot of dedicating my life to that once I was performing so much, and I did become part of that musical theater group, and I would tour with them. I went on different, I toured with them being part of the group in the Verizon Amphitheater. We sang at the Orange County Bowl, I believe. How I met Pat Sajak, because he was there, and so we were.
Oh, wow.
So there's interesting aspects of my life that kind of came from just being. What?
No, like this costume, like this Catwoman costume is crazy. Did you make this like with your bare hands?
No, I did not. I would love to, and that's definitely something I'm going to get into. But that's where all in all my love of cosplays came from, is because of dressing up for, all these musicals, all the makeup, every single time you're becoming a whole different character, a whole different person, with the acting, the singing, the dancing. And so I think it was just a natural progression of when I became older and as cosplay became a thing, and seeing that and not really wanting to do too much of like the the actual performance part at that time. Now I would be more open to that again, and I would like to get back into those things. But that was overall, like, I love just being able to transform yourself into a whole different character and persona, and those different things to make the cosplay you or yours versus what other people have done, or what. And I think that's overall with my cosplays is the thing is that there's a little mix of just me within there, of trying to find that individualism within it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And but yeah, I would that is something that I plan on doing, that I would like to more, is making more cosplays by hand. I am DIYing one. I am in the works of doing something.
Okay. Cool.
Well,
So I have a question. So you've been doing this cosplay. Is there a particular character that you enjoy cosplaying as more than the others?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that question?
So, is there a particular cosplay character that you enjoy portraying, that you enjoy cosplaying as more than the others?
Well, I
Like, what's
have
your
a whole
favorite?
list. Yeah, so far the favorite that I've had so far is Catwoman. Like that's
Mm,
definitely my favorite thus far, and then Chucky. But
mm-hmm,
Catwoman is because I love Catwoman so much. I love the 90s Batman movies. The
mm-hmm,
I not people are either love those movies or hate them. I'm in the
mm,
camp of I love them. I am obsessed with them. They are iconic.
yes,
Can't tell me
yes.
shit. And like you had Catwoman, Poison Ivy, the Penguin,
Mm-hmm,
just so many iconic and I love the way that they looked and
mm-hmm,
that cosplay. It's very much obviously the Michelle Pfeiffer inspired Catwoman version,
mm-hmm.
and I had stayed away from that cosplay for so long because one, finding all the items that I wanted and putting things together and figuring things out. And even though my cosplays aren't handmade, like there's a mix of everything is put together from different places or it's
Okay.
so there is
So,
that element.
mm-hmm,
So it also was a matter of finding the right things at the right time,
mm-hmm.
but I just didn't want to debut her until I felt like she 100% did Catwoman and Michelle Pfeiffer right.
Mm.
And
Okay, okay,
because
I get
there's
it.
no way that I could step into those boots and half-ass that shit. I would not be able to be okay
Gotcha.
with myself with that.
Mm, okay.
So getting into like the second portion of, today's episode, I know Big, right before the episode, you kind of shared something with me that I thought we could kind of have fun with. Chesska,
Okay.
have you seen Obsession?
Yes.
Okay, good. So go for it, Big.
So basically, it was just announced that they are going to be moving forward with doing an Obsession Part 2, right? And so me and Mr. Scary Vibes were kind of just throwing around this whole thing of like, what direction are they going to be going into with this, right? Because in reality, when they left, the end of that film, Nikki is
She
pretty
was
much,
fucked.
she was,
And
yeah,
mentally, like, she's
she was
fucked
done,
mentally by
man.
everything.
Right. So my thing is like we were trying to come up with like ways that they could come up with a storyline, right, for this sequel. So I'm thinking maybe she's in
Yeah.
prison. Maybe she's in prison
Okay.
and
Yeah.
there could be maybe a friend of hers or family members that are actively like investigating, trying to get to the root of the One Wish Willow, the company that manufactured these things. And maybe we
Mm.
might actually be able to find out what the origin is behind this One Wish Willow.
Ah,
That would be pretty cool, you know.
that would
Uh,
be pretty cool. That
do
is
you so
interesting.
you yourself, do you have any ideas of what direction they might be able to take it in?
I think because before you said it, I had no idea because
Mm-hmm.
like I said, like how the movie ends, it's she's basically on the bend of a mental breakdown and is
Mm-hmm.
within one, understandably so,
Right.
because she just came back to, but we know that she wasn't like she was conscious of the things that were happening even if she wasn't
Mm-hmm.
fully conscious. She had some level, and so she
Mm-hmm.
was trapped in her body this whole time
Right.
witnessing all of this and not able to do anything.
Mm.
And I do not know what type of psychological toll that could take on a person,
Okay.
especially with everything that
I
she
have an
had went
idea.
through.
Ooh, I
Well,
have an
I
idea.
mean, it's gonna be a
So
padded
what?
room.
So what I'm thinking is, so if I were writing this, or it'd be something that I would at least put on the table, is obviously in the movie that wasn't the real Nikki, right? That was her body. There was
Mm-hmm.
something taking over her. What if
Yeah,
part two took you to wherever the real Nikki's like soul or where she actually was, and now she has to go on this
yeah,
mission or this journey to like
Mm.
get her body back and clear her name.
Ooh,
that
I like that.
that's also
I
interesting.
like that a lot. Mm,
I also
absolutely.
like that. That's also interesting.
We could
Yeah.
do like a obsession 1.5.
Before moving into like the full blown two, right? But I don't know, man. So like, if you remember in the movie, there were other products there besides the One Wish Willow, right? There were other of these like vintage boxes and whatnot that did other things. So I think that's like the direction where Curry Barker, they're supposedly supposed to be working on like a series, and I guess
Mm.
each episode is going to focus on a different novelty item and what each one does and how it messes up people's lives. So I think that's
Interesting.
pretty cool. I'm very, very interested to see where they go with that
Yeah.
series.
That could
Yeah.
be really cool because then that also makes me think of obviously that should have been listed in my favorite movies. So again, too many. But that made
Mm-hmm.
me think of 13 Ghosts right there. Because obviously that was one of the things that has been
Mm-hmm.
constantly talked about ever since then is that we wanted to know more about the ghosts, their
Yes.
personal stories, their
Mm-hmm.
backgrounds, more about them. So that's exactly where my brain goes. And so it would
Mm-hmm.
be very cool to see that if all the products, how they actually like little, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, starts with an A. Little
Autobiographies or
yeah, when they're little stories and then it moves on
Oh,
yeah.
to the next
Oh,
episode.
an anthology.
knowledge.
Thank you. There we go. That's
An
it.
anthology. Yes.
That would
Mm-hmm.
be interesting. And then they could have some type, but yeah, that would be very cool. I do think that would be cool.
No, like
Yeah, I
certain
actually
things
think
like
we're one
that,
step
like
closer.
so I feel like,
I'm sorry.
things like this, things like this could deserve like TV shows, you know what I mean? Things like
Mm-hmm.
13 Ghost and maybe even, the One Wish Willow. Like you could actually make some good TV shows and some good content around it. I'm just
Good.
hoping since, this movie made so much money that they're just not that they don't want to force it, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure, the movie executives and whatnot are just seeing dollar signs like, hey, we have to do a part two. We're gonna make so much money, and they're gonna force the idea, and
That's
then they're
what
gonna
you don't want to happen.
that's what
Yeah.
we don't
That's
want to
exactly what you
happen. So
yeah.
Exactly.
hopefully they handle it with care, and Curry Barker, kind of like leads the charge with it. And I feel like if he is really leading it, then it should do good.
Yeah. I'm interested to see
Mm-hmm.
where the story could go from where it was left off.
Mm-hmm. And it needs to happen soon. It needs to
Yeah,
happen
I
soon.
know. None
We
of
need this.
this like hiatus thing, like 20
Mm-hmm.
years,
I'm
15.
saying. I'm saying it's
I don't know how this
ridiculous. Like, let's
guy
get this new video.
is. I don't know how this guy is like staying so busy, like the fact that he's
Mm-hmm.
working on the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre and then there's all these other projects that his name's around. Like, the guy's gonna be a busy guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, man. Can't wait to see what else he's working on.
So when we were putting together this episode, we had the final piece of it. This is kind of it came from inspiration, with a conversation that me and Big Paranormal were having on one of our lives, which let's have a shameless plug since we're at that part of the episode.
Right.
First off, me and Big Paranormal, we do every Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're doing streams on TikTok. In the very near future, Big Paranormal has an idea. What were you
Mhm.
thinking?
So I was thinking about hosting a paranormal roundtable in which I could actually have different spiritual practitioners, people who like maybe people who are ghost hunters, paranormal investigators. I have a friend of mine who is versed in like Palo Mayambe. I have, friends of mine that do other things, such as Santeria. Maybe we could have somebody from like the Christian community or whatever, and like have different people just talk about different paranormal experiences, their practices and whatever. And we actually last night had a really, really good, um, it's a really good conversation, man, just regarding. We had AJ True Crime, man, who was our last guest, and he was awesome, just talking about his different paranormal experiences and whatnot. And that's one thing that I would like to do is just maybe do like one night a week, go on like TikTok live or something, and then just invite different people to talk about different things and then answer questions, right, from anybody in the comment section if they ever have any questions and whatnot. I think that would be really cool, you know?
I agree. So during one of these lives, we had a conversation about, the drug. Everybody knows Ozempic, right?
Mm,
Everybody knows somebody who's tried it or wants to try it or da 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 da. But obviously,
hmm.
with these drugs, you don't know what's in it, and it sparked the idea of what if this created like some type of zombie apocalypse? The year's
Yeah.
2035. The year's
That was my that,
2035. Everybody's looking their best, this and that, but then it
That's
just creates
zombies.
a
so
zombie outbreak.
my thing was is that I said like Ozempic is a hunger suppressant, right? It's a peptide that is a hunger suppressant. I'm like, eventually these people are gonna get so hungry at some point that they're just gonna snap and they're just gonna start attacking
Okay,
people.
exactly what you said. So I
Hmm.
just watched this movie recently on Tubi, and
Okay.
it's called Finstra, like thin and
Uh-huh.
Estra. So
Okay.
thin Estra. I don't know, but
Uh-huh.
basically, like, kind of not the zombie way, but it's like I don't want to give too much of that movie away, but I did. It was interesting to me because when it's like a mix of The Substance,
Mm.
The Exorcist, and also elements of like, hmm, I guess you could say like Jennifer's Body. Like,
Oh wow. Okay.
so it's kind of like a mix of all of those.
Hmm.
But it ties in with what you were saying of
Hmm.
the premise of this movie is she's given an appetite suppressant
Okay.
because she has been working out, she's been dieting, and everything she has done up until that point has not gotten her to her goal. And
Mm.
then she's offered a substance of sorts from someone. And then so that's where the movie then goes from there. But very much makes me think of what you were saying of
Interesting.
their appetite is being suppressed. And at some point, like, does that suppression stop? Does that go into
Mhm.
overdrive? Does that, what happens with that?
Right. What? So that actually got me really interested. What was the name of that movie? I'm definitely gonna look that one up.
It's one word, and
Uh
I
huh.
think it was. Let me. Oh, my phone's on up here. So it's Thin Estra. So I think it was
Dinestra.
Thin, and I think it's Estra, but it's on
Okay.
Tubi.
I
Dinestra.
So
I
yeah.
love
see it right
Tubi.
here. Okay. Thank you so much. That sounds
You are
so interesting.
welcome.
I'm checking that out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it
That's going
was.
on my watch list.
Yeah, it was worth a watch in my opinion.
Okay.
There's aspects. It's body horror. Yes, yes.
Mm-mm.
There's lots of body horror.
Okay.
There's blood. There's stuff.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I look forward to watching it.
So the
Cool.
whole
Okay.
idea of like, this happening, right? it kind of just
Mhm.
creates a couple questions of like, in a case of an apocalypse where these good-looking zombies, they're all rail thin, are coming after you, like what would be your weapon of choice? And what would be somewhere you would go and hide? Is there something that you would have to like something you could grab quickly that you would bring with you? What are some of those things? I'm curious to know.
Oh, you starting with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. Um.
Okay,
So
let's break this down.
weapon
What's
of
your weapon
choice.
of choice?
Zombie apocalypse. Weapon of choice. What are you choosing?
Machete. Machete.
Ooh. Okay, that's a
I
good
like how
one.
you just like automatically had that in your head already. Like literally. What are you choosing? Machete. Machete. Got it. Definitely.
We're playing.
Right. So like with me, so obviously you're gonna have to have some type of handheld weapon because guns run out of bullets. We all know that,
Oh,
right? Guns
exactly.
run out of bullets.
Knife
So
too close. You don't want to be that fucking close.
exactly. A knife is too close. But I and
Swords, you
like
gotta
now
learn how to maneuver.
exactly. But we're talking about, distance too, right? So why not have some type of spear? Right? Something a spear,
Mm.
kind of long that you can actually
Oh,
maintain distance, right? You can maintain your distance
yeah,
from the zombie, still be able to destroy the brain, and you're not within
yeah,
the bite zone. So I think you're good.
yeah.
Go
That's
with the spear.
Morgan. I mean, his wasn't a
Mm,
spear, but his is a pole. Like that's the so yeah, Morgan from The Walking Dead.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Mr. Scary Vibes?
Well, I'm trying to think what I have in my house, and there's not a lot of weapons. So I'm thinking
And
I'm probably
that's
just
what I
gonna.
was thinking. In
Wait,
I'm
my house.
thinking
so
I'm
wait,
just gonna have to.
does this have to be things that we have in our house? Because I do have
I
these.
was gonna say I didn't know if we were dealing with actual reality or not, and so I was like, I'm just going with machete.
I mean, either
Wait,
way, I have like a couple machetes, so I'm good. I also have
wait,
an axe,
Cheska,
but like,
are you telling us you don't have a machete under your mattress right now?
Oh, that's where my buck knife is.
nice,
On.
nice. I love it. That's
That's
fantastic.
legitimate.
But my
My
but my
picture.
choice my choice would be to just like dual wield some like cast iron skillets. I'm just dual wielding, just like dong
Oh
dong
man,
dong
you
dong
want
dong.
that would be funny for one thing, but cast iron
I'd probably
skillets,
get tired pretty
dude, you
quick.
don't ever have to worry. You
So
don't have to worry about
exert
those things
yourself.
breaking. That's crazy. I would never even think about using a cast iron skillet in the zombie apocalypse. That's
I
actually
mean,
pretty
it's
good.
solid. Yeah, it's the you can just whack them. Bam.
My thing is, my thing is with a cast iron skillet, you might get tired of
Yeah,
swinging
no.
because those things got some weight to it.
Yeah, but they're all
Those
gonna
things got some
be they're
weight
all
to it.
gonna be skinny. They're all gonna be skinny. It's not gonna take a lot to knock them out.
Right,
Yeah.
but because they're skinny, they're gonna be a lot faster.
But aren't they like roided up though too? Like wouldn't it be
That's
like
what I'm saying. You got a bunch of juice head
feral?
zombies.
Like they haven't ate. They're hungry.
Man. The aspect now thinking about the fact that you have these Ozempic zombies, it's sounding scarier and scarier now that I think about it because they're definitely going to be faster than your
Yes.
traditional zombies, right? They're not your undead
Does that
zombies.
mean they're athletic too?
That's
So
what
can
I'm
these fuckers
saying.
like jump and shit?
Like Pilates zombies? What? So now you
A
have to deal with like
P90
these
X
weird
zombie?
right, these weird like contortionists. So you go to smack a zombie in the head with a cast iron skillet, they do this crazy back bend. Like, bro, what kind of Matrix zombies are we gonna be dealing with now? This is so
Okay, but now I
scary.
need to see this as a movie because I also need to see the Ozempic zombies because it's like I can see them styled, I can see the fashion and everything,
They're all gonna be wearing the
along with
cute
their
little
body,
gym
like along with the
outfits.
decay and everything.
Right.
I need to
Cute
see
little
this as
gym
a horror
outfits.
comedy movie
Right,
now.
exactly.
Stat.
We need to work on this. We got to trademark it.
Actually,
We got to make this happen.
we get
I'll be one of the horror Ozempic zombies.
we could get
Yeah.
Chesska on the project, and we could turn it into like a musical. We'll turn it into a musical.
Oh jeez.
Oh no. Oh
I
man.
think you lost our audience right there.
Oh well.
Whatever audience we may have had, they're gone.
That's too funny.
All right, so
I
we're
love
getting to.
musicals, but not everyone loves musicals.
I
I
love
don't.
musicals. I watched Willy Wonka, the new one, like 3 times in the theater with my daughter.
Dude,
But we're
it's
getting down
not
to the end of the
neither for
episode. Go ahead and tell everybody where they could find you, Chesska,
You can find me on Instagram.
if you want to be found.
Find me on Instagram, basically, or TikTok, Threads. Like my stuff is all basically the same username, Chesska, and yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Like
Thank
I
you
said
for having
earlier in
me.
the episode, I want to, invite all our listeners, watchers, come check out the lives that we're doing, throughout the week on TikTok. Also, if you're not a member of the Scary Vibes Facebook group, make sure you join that. That is the foundation of the Scary Vibes community. It's definitely a fun, safe place for everybody. But I think that's going to be an episode. My name is Michael, aka Mr. Scary Vibes.
My name is Abe, aka Bigg Paranormal. Chesska, thank you again so much. It's been a blast talking to you, and to the listeners and watchers, guys. Please go and check out Chesska and her cosplay. That's absolutely amazing. Check her out. Okay, we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.